And then we have the teams in the hunt.
I love the hunt section.
All right, we love the in the hunt section, and there are 4 quality teams in the hunt, and there are 2 quality teams in the wild card. Let's have a little game. We are going to call this
Peter.
the wild card roundup game.
Okay.
Got all the stuff here at the breakfast bar. Why don't we have a little breakfast debate? I'm going to say 3 different categories. You guys tell me which team you think is the right answer for each. Let's start off right away.
First round?
Okay, first
This is the one I always buy.
The very first question. Everyone's ready. Which one of these NFC wild card hopefuls would you least want to see in the playoffs if you're one of those top seeds?
Okay.
Who's the scariest team in the hunt or wild card?
I'll jump right in. I'm going with the Panthers.
That's it, Nate.
Wow, keep pounding.
Okay, Nate's drinking already.
Yeah. All
Another
right, so
fuzzy
listen,
navel.
I'm going with the Panthers because I know they came off them 3 tough losses, right? The Lions and the Steelers, of course, and
Seahawks.
Yes, Seahawks. But when you look at Cam, he's playing at the most efficient level he's played at in his career. The career high in completion percentage and passer rating, which means all those questions about can Cam stick in the pocket and be a pure passer? Yes, he can. But most importantly, though, that guy that he just fake handed the ball off to, that was to Christian McCaffrey. 9 touchdowns in the last 5 games. So you look at the type of players that he's playing with. Cam can light you up in the air and on the ground. Christian McCaffrey's a beast. Oh, and they still got Luke Kuechly on defense.
3 straight losses, Burleson. K, what do you got?
Them in the
What do you
playoffs.
got? 3 straight
Panthers.
losses.
I didn't know who I was going to pick, and then you made that case about the Panthers, and this is like the quintessential bargument at the thing. I'm sitting next to you, you spit some take, and I'm like, whoa, 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 bro. They lost to this team.
True.
And they were up the entire time. Christian McCaffrey had the game of his life, and yet somehow Russell Wilson still pulls it out. They have a top 10 defense. He's done it too many times. I do not want to see him in the playoffs.
I don't either. That's a scary man. But, Peter, if you're asking us to look forward to the playoffs, which team do we not want to see there in January, I'm going to say this team. And I'll tell you why. Because if this team is there, and you're giving me that
What's
as an
that
option,
imply?
that means that they beat Washington this weekend, they beat Dallas, they probably beat the Rams, they probably beat the Texans, and I know I'm not jumping on the table for this team at all. I'm not going to BS Philadelphia.
No, you don't do that.
Peter, how dare you? I'm always authentic about this. Right now, you know the movie Flatliners where they're trying to get Kiefer with the paddles? That's the Eagles. But if they are in the playoffs, it's they turned it the hell on. You do not want to see them.
You're right. It means they would be coming in hot. Next question. Let's do another one here. Which NFL head coach? We've got some Super Bowl champion head coaches in those 6 teams.
Okay.
Which head coach would you least like seeing lining up against you if you were one of these teams who are already in the playoff picture?
You're going to ask which head coach we don't have a beer with.
I'm going to go with
okay,
Kyle
that's a good
first.
question, too. And this my answer for both. Pete Carroll, I'm going to say this right now. I think right now we're in the middle of Pete Carroll's greatest coaching performance of his career.
Better than USC.
Going back to John David Booty, Peter, you can name it. This was the gap year for the Seattle Seahawks. The band broke up. Everybody graduated. This is the dad saying, no, get off your butt. Go out and get a job. He brings Russ with him. He brings Wagner with him. I don't want to see Pete. He's got a ring on his finger. He should have had 2, but that's my guy.
There's a couple of these guys I don't want to see. Hold on. Don't want to see him. Don't want to see him. But I will go with Riverboat Ron.
Yeah, that's the beer one, too.
Because I feel like he's my beer one, too. He's won an NFC championship game. He's sort of been there and done that. He takes risks. He goes for it. And his T-shirt game is on point. So what is not to like about Riverboat Ron? I like
Does have the experience.
got the experience, and he's a risk taker. He's bold. He goes for it.
All right, speaking of experience, I'm going with a coach that was scorned last year by the experience of not making it to the Super Bowl. I'm going Mike Zim for the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, go on.
Listen, the playoffs are all about what? It's all about great quarterback play and running the ball and passing. They got a top 3 defense. Even after the struggles this year, look at those glasses, man. You want a guy that can see everything. He can see everything on the field with those glasses. Shout out to my guy Zims. But here's the thing. 5 straight quarterbacks under 200 yards. That's including Breeze. That's including Rodgers. So I'm looking at Zimmer. The playoffs is all about great quarterbacks, right? You want a defense that can get after those quarterbacks. I'm going with Zims, baby.
Minnesota Vikings.
I'd want him there and be like, what's up, Zim? Give him a big
When I'm at
hug.
the bar, I wear goggles.
Minnesota Vikings held Drew Brees to 120 passing yards. The Saints won, but that is a number that stuck out to
Peter.
me.
It's a good
Last
nugget.
one here.
Yeah.
Last one here.
Last
Which
call.
of these NFC wild card hopefuls? Last call at the
Semisonic.
breakfast bar.
Give me Semisonic.
You don't have to.
What kind of
can't
bar?
stay here.
What kind of bar is this?
Which player of all these is the scariest?
Closing time right now. I like
Who's
it.
the one NFC wild card hopeful team player that you think is the scariest?
Ooh, I'll I'll go Russell Wilson. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I go
excellent
first?
answer.
I'm going to go Russell Wilson. I feel like he's Mr. Game-winning drive. He's the same reason I don't want to see these guys in the playoffs. He's somehow getting it done. Tyler Lockett has 8 touchdowns this season. He has 3 games without scoring. It's unbelievable what they're doing. They've got a run game. They've got a defense. It's all we've ever wanted for Russell Wilson. So, yeah, he's been in 5 career playoff appearances, and he's led at least 1 game-winning drive in the 4th quarter in that time, which is insane.
I'm going to double down. I'm going with Russell Wilson as well. One of the most athletic quarterbacks, and because he's such a pure passer in the pocket, we don't give him credit for what he does and the fact that he does have a running game, the play action fake. He's one of the best quarterbacks when it comes to him play actioning outside of the pocket, so his efficiency is at a different level. The fact that he can go out there, deliver the ball to his wide receivers, and then lean on the running game for the first time since Marshawn Lynch left, this is something different, man. If you really pay attention to what he's doing, Russell Wilson, just like you said a second ago, could be having the best season of his career.
2 for
I
Russ.
knew you'd come around. Well, no,
I'm always a Russell
Let me
Wilson.
buy you a beer. I'll buy you a
Sure, put on
2
the
for
tab.
Russ. Who do you got?
I think if you're a single gentleman in a bar trying to meet a nice young lady, the person you do not want to walk in the bar is the quarterback of this team right here. I will say this over and over again. Cam Newton at the height of his powers is the most dangerous, most powerful player in all of the National Football League. And I'm going to go through in the schedule, too. If Cam's going to get in, you got to beat the Saints at least once. You got them twice. Maybe you get lucky, beat them in Week 17. But I'm going to go Cam. He brings McCaffrey as his winger. Couldn't get better than that. Cam Newton, most powerful player in sports when he's on his game.
Russ, Cam, I got to play for one. Guys, if you let this guy in, do not sleep.
Right.
You cannot let this guy. Aaron Rodgers. No one put Aaron Rodgers on the list. Not this year.
Peter, he's been standing in that line for 11 weeks. We're waiting for him to come in.
Yeah, I think he left his ID at home. Not getting in the club.
The Breakfast Bar. We're going to do the AFC in a bit, but guys, coming up after